Welcome to Oracle Fusion Hub's ADF tutorials. Today we would be learning about development of mobile applications using JDeveloper. For this we would need Oracle JDeveloper 11G Release 2 edition, and if you need the exact release details, it should be Studio Edition version 11.2.1.2.3.2. Prior versions of JDeveloper will not work for this particular task, hence you have to go with 11.1.2.3.2. After downloading Oracle JDeveloper this particular version, go to the help menu, check for updates, and here click on next and just keep the checkboxes. And in the update section you would need ADF mobile as the extension, and I have already installed that extension in here, so we will not see this here, but you can type ADF mobile and you will see the ADF mobile popping up, and then after selecting that just click on next and then finish it off. Now you got Oracle JDeveloper, the right version to start development, and the next thing that you need to have is the Android SDK if you are planning to test this particular mobile application in Android. And if you want to test this in iPhone, you have iPhone emulator, and same is the case with the Windows phones as well. And now just click on the download SDK, and then it will just download. Here we have the SDK, Android SDK downloaded, and just click on the SDK manager.exe file. It will take you to the Android emulator. This is the SDK manager, and click on tools and click on manage AVDs. I've already installed a Jelly Bean Android 4.2 AVD. If you want to install your own Android SDK, then click on the new and then give the name, AVD name, and then you can pick up any of the devices here. This depends on your specifications. Whatever be the device, it will work seamlessly. And the target would be Android 4.2 API level 17. This is what I'm using it, and you can use your own APIs. And RAM can be 512 or whatever, it depends upon your size limit. And then click on OK. You'll get an AVD. Now let me start this AVD. Just click on the launch. It's starting emulator for AVD test. Okay. Now we see something is being started. Let it start because it takes a while to get this. And now go to your the Oracle JDeveloper, click on the new application, and here we would be going to create a mobile application, and this mobile application creates an ADF mobile application. It consists of two projects, one for ADF mobile features content, which are like AMX files, task flows, data controls, and the other for application wide content, application live listeners, device features, data controls, springboard, etc. So just click on the mobile application. In prior releases of 11G release 2, you will not get that particular option there. So when you are not seeing that particular ADF application, then probably you have to install a latest Oracle JDeveloper edition. Now in the application name, just click on, write something, whatever you want to write. I have named it as employees, and the prefix would be my domain name. Since this is already there in my previous attempts, I would name this as employee data. Click on next, and then the default package, you can keep the defaults, and the project name would be view controller, and these are the project features. You have ADF mobile framework, you have the HTML and CSS, Java, JavaScript. You can use web services, which are like the REST and the SOAP. You can use the WSDL features and the XML. These are all the project features, and then click on the finish button. Now this will create the basic mobile application for us, and this is the mobile application, and you will see the ADF feature.xml. And here an application, a mobile application, would normally consist of the various pages. For example, and one can be the employee list page, another can be a help document, and so far. So for each feature or each page, we would actually create a feature for that, and this is the page where we need to create those features. So here in the ADF feature.xml, click on the plus button and start creating a feature. I would need an employees feature, which would list down the employees. Click on OK, and I would also need a help feature, just nothing but a help document. So click on OK, and first let us try to finish the help feature. And in the help feature content, we can simply have the type would be a local HTML. We just need something to be displayed, a HTML page. That's it. So in the URL, just click on the plus button, and you can name this as help.html. Just click OK, and this would create a HTML for us. You have the HTML layout here. So what you can write anything you want. Welcome to Oracle Fusion Apps ADF employees page. You are at help menu. That's it. Save it. So this has created the help page for us. Now go to the employees features page, and then we need ADF mobile elements. So here now for this ADF mobile elements, what we need is a task flow. We will create a task flow for this, and I would name this task flow as EMS task flow. Click OK. Now you would see an EMS task flow.xml file. Now here, what I really thought of about this web application, the mobile application, is that it would have two pages. So in the components palette, go to this view activity and drag and drop here. So name this as emp list. Similarly, drag in another view activity here and name this as show graph. Now just link both the things we're using the control showcase, and name this as show graph. This is a basic what do you call the page, this task flow. Now before we begin with the creation or the the creation of the pages. What we need is the data. So for that, go to your projects, and then in the view controller, click on new. What we are trying to create here is a POJO object. POJO is like the plain old Java objects, and here I'll go to the Java. Go to Java class. In the general categories, you have this Java class. And now create a Java class name as emp, and this is normally extends to the lang object, so you don't need to bother about any of the things. Just click on OK. So here you have Java class, and inside this start creating objects, and what we need is this part. So for the date, we need java.util, and what we have created 4 variables here, and we have created an emp method and another emp method, and then we start generating accessors for this. You need accessors for the name, email, salary, and hire date, and just click OK. You'll get all the accessors and the constructors. These are the constructors. In the same way, after clicking the save all button, you start creating another class here. Just click on new, and Java class, it will be emps. This is basically the data for the emp class. And here what we are going to create is this whole thing, where we have created a list, and that list has got like how many variables? 4 employees, and this is going to serve as the data for our ADF application, mobile application. Now in the future classes, we wouldn't be creating, or we wouldn't be hard coding these employee details. We would get these details from a web service. But for now, since what we are trying to achieve is a very basic mobile application, we have hard coded these employee data. Now save this. Now we have got the basic data for this, and since we have got the data, what we need is a data control, so that we can pass that data control in the presentation layer. So click on the emps, right click on emps.java, and create data control for this. Enough, just ignore the warnings, since they are just warnings. Now right click and refresh it, and you will have this emps data control. Now go to the emps taskflow.xml, where you have created the task flow, and start creating the emps list page. Just click on this and you will see this, and we need even the footer. That's just how you want to do it. I have checked the footer also. Just click OK. Now you have the emps list.amx file, and here this is an XML page, and what we are doing is we would modify this particular page to suit our requirements, but just click on this particular arrow button here, so that we have 2 pages, and click on the preview button, so that the moment you are making changes to the XML file, you would see the changes in the screen itself. you know, there is this header button, and we don't want this header to be header. We want something to be, we want this to be something else. So go to the physics header and go to the output text. Now here the value is header, and we would name this as employees, so that the name got changed here. Now I would name the CB1, the second button, as show graph, or just graph. Now it got changed to graph, and now when I click on this particular graph button, I need the control to be switched to this show graph. How do I do that? Just go to this graph, and then in the action listener, in the action, just click on the show graph. Now when I click on this graph, the system will automatically make you go to this particular show graph page. Now when I go to this graph page, I want the style to be, the transition to should be smooth enough. So how do I do that? And then okay, now we want some data to be there in this particular region. How do I do that? So go to the EMS data control here, open it up, and you have this EMS. Just drag and drop into the panel page, and I would make this as an ADF mobile list view. And the list view would be a grouping of the lists. A text field appears at the start side of the list item with items grouped by dividers. And click on OK. Now how do you want this divider mode? Divider mode would be with the first letter. Just click on OK. So now you have the data populated here. Now we are done with the empty list page. Just click on save all. Now go to the emp task flow and start creating show graph, and click on OK. And here in the same way how we did is just click on this and then click on the preview button. Now we would name this header to be a graph, and we would name the primary button back, and then the action would be a back button. Did we do that? We didn't do this. But that's okay. We can anyway go back. Okay. Now we need a graph here, graph of all the employees. Basically the salary of the employees is compared in the graph here. So just drag and drop this employees to the panel page, and here ADF mobile chart would be the option. I would make this as a bar, and I'd click on OK here. Here in the bar, the salary would be the something that I need to compare, and the X attribute, the X-axis attributes would be the name. So just click on OK. Now you'll have a graph here. Just click on save. We are almost done with the basic app development. Go to the application resources, go to the descriptors, ADF meta descriptors, ADFMF application.xml. Here the ID should be a unique one. So since you are not making this a production app, you're okay with whatever the value is there, but I would make this as an Oracle Fusion Hub.com thing. Now the feature references, we have the two feature references. One is the employees, another one is the help. So that's fine with us. Let's click on the save all. This gives us a basic app, and now our task is to deploy it to the emulator. See, we have got our emulator ready. Let's click on OK if this is the first time, and then you have this emulator ready. This is quite slow here, so we are not really looking to do anything here. Now there is a okay, click on OK. There is a trick or the series of steps that we need to follow to deploy this particular app into the emulator or the Android, the real Android device. Basically, what happens was that when you're directly deploying it to the emulator in the dev mode, that's not a production mode. We get the app to be the app occupies a lot of space, and that's more like somewhere around 20 MB for this particular, this very small basic app. So this is not desirable feature, and hence what we would do is we would make this app as a production app, so that less space would be occupied for this APK. Now, how do we do that? Go to Run and then type cmd here. Now you are at users, and we need to go to the root directory, and then cd middleware, cd JDK stuff, and then cd bin. Now you're at the Java directory, and here go to this particular directory, and here what you need is you need to generate a key store for this. So the syntax is the key store minus gen key minus v key store name, and here I named it as Oracle Fusion Hub key store, and the alias would be the Oracle Fusion Hub, and then key RSA, and the remaining stuff is the same. So you need to type this particular command into here, and the moment you type it here, it will ask you for a password. You give the password and you enter a few details, the basic details like your name, your organization name, and stuff like that, and a key store will be created. Once you get this key store created, go to your tools, preferences, and then ADF mobile in the platform section. Go to the supported platform of Android, and don't change any of these things. In the release mode, you enter the key store location. This would be the key store location. I got my key store named as satya.keystore, but however, this should be satya.keystore as if I make it. And the key store password would be the one that I gave, key store alias is the one that I gave, and then just click on the OK button. This would give you the release key store credentials and stuff like that. Now go to the view controller and start deploying the app. Right click on view controller, deploy, click on new deployment profile, and go to the application properties and deployments, create a new deployment profile, and this will be ADF mobile for Android, and click on OK. Now here in the Android options, we are not going to do this in a debug mode, we are going to do this in release mode. Click on OK. Just click on OK. Now go to the deploy. Now go to the deploy and click on Android, and now we are going to deploy this application to the emulator. So click on next, click on finish. You will now see the status of the app getting deployed. Now the app has successfully been deployed. This will take a few minutes, but if you want to deploy this to a regular Android device, go to your folder, and my folder is employee data, and here go to the deploy folder, deployment profile, and you would see employee data.apk here. You can simply transfer this APK file to your regular Android device, and that's it. You would start working on it. Let me see if I get this. It's still taking time. Here you go. You have the employee data that got deployed. Just click on the employee data. This emulator is a bit slow, but bear with me. You will see the app running. Here it said deployment finished. Okay, Oracle page is getting initialized. We can customize everything here, so we don't need to make this Oracle. Here we go. We have the employees screen, and then click on the graph button here, and it will take you to the graph page. Here is the graph page. Well, that's it. Thanks. Next week we would see how to create an application which uses web services, and also will refine this page further, and will include email functionality and stuff like that. Thanks for watching. Thanks. Bye.